Hey guys, welcome back. So I'm still in Kenya and I'm getting ready for a photo shoot that I'm supposed to have this morning. It's 6:41 a.m. My photographer is supposed to be here at 8 o'clock. So I just wanted to get ready on camera, share my makeup routine. I've never done a video like this before and I wanted to do one this morning. So I have about an hour and a half to get ready. So that should be plenty enough time, but we'll see. So when it comes to my makeup routine, I started paying attention to my base. Also, I'm gonna be looking in this direction throughout the course of this video because I have a mirror right here and I need to see what I'm doing. So I like to start with this cream. So this is a night cream. Don't come for me. This is a night cream, but I love using it as my base moisturizer because it has this gripping consistency. So it's not sticky, but it grips. Does that make sense? So because of that consistency, it kind of just holds my makeup in place. So once I'm done with that, I now apply my SPF. So I got this from Prozis. I've never used it before. I've never tried it before, but I'm gonna apply it today. So something that I wanted to talk about, someone had asked me, someone sent me a DM, basically just asking me for advice when it comes to creating content, how to start social media, how to be consistent, motivated, about brand deals and all of that stuff. This is not the first time I've gotten a question like that. I always get asked those questions and I've never really answered them like on video. Of course I will answer through the DM, but I've never made a video on it. For those of you who don't know, I have been creating content since 2017, 2018 consistently, and I am a fitness trainer. I've been training since 2017, and that's when I started social media as well. Oh, this is kind of oily. I don't know how well this is gonna be underneath my makeup, but we're gonna find out. I'm gonna let this sit for a while before applying my primer. So I'm Nigerian, I live in Nigeria currently, and when I started training, one, and two, just posting on social media as a fitness creator, there wasn't anyone, specifically women, who were doing it big. There weren't any big fitness creators in Nigeria, right, when I started. So I didn't really have anyone who I could relate to in terms of like our culture, our food, and incorporating that into fitness. I genuinely wanted to see someone do it in a way that I would have wanted it to be done. So I think I really took it upon myself to go above and beyond and just create a space, not just for Nigerians, but mostly Nigerian women to feel comfortable in the fitness industry, to feel comfortable in the fitness space. I hope I've been able to do a good job of that. Fitness is still a niche industry in Nigeria. You don't see a lot of women doing it because of just like the stereotypes and like the negative connotations attached to weightlifting. A lot of people still see weightlifting for women as a very masculine activity, and I still get comments to this day, oh, you're too muscular, or you look like a man. What guy is going to take you seriously? No one wants to be with a woman that has more muscle definition than he does. It comes from a lot of ignorance and just understanding of fitness and how the human body and the female body specifically actually works. Yes, you are going to have a little bit more muscle definition. That's just what happens when you lift weights. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. I digress. When it comes to content creation and social media, there is no secret. I know a lot of people are looking for a secret, a handbook, a rule book. I was not given a rule book when I started social media. I was just posting my content on Instagram. Break, now I'm going in with my primer. My SPF has dried. So I'm using the Fenty Beauty primer, mattifying primer. So I have over 5 years experience in the fitness industry currently, and I have over 1 million followers on Instagram, over 2 million here on YouTube, and about 2 to 3 years of experience when it comes to working with brands and having just sponsorships from brands. So I have a ton of knowledge in the fitness influencing industry, and I know a lot of people who are interested in getting into the content creating space. So I'm gonna start with some do's and don'ts when it comes to posting content and just trying to get brand deals, right? And this is from my experience, okay? Disclaimer, this is from my experience. This is not a general rule of thumb. I'm gonna start off with the number one question, which is, how do I get started? And honestly, the only way for you to start something is for you to start. You have to just start posting your content. There's no such thing as the right time. There's no such thing as the perfect moment for you to begin any journey. It's not just content creation, but anything. Once you have the idea and you have the inspo, you just have to start creating your content and then get better as you go along. So now I am doing my base foundation routine. I'm using this Danessa Myricks skin blurring powder. This is what it looks like. So it has this applicator. I saw videos of Danessa using this in some of her tutorials, and I was like, I want that. I really wanted to start focusing on getting a flawless base for my foundation. So if you're the type of person who is a minimalist when it comes to applying makeup, guys, my light just went off. Oh my God. So back to what I was saying, like, I know that's a very cheesy thing to say, just start posting, and it sounds easier than it is for a lot of people, because I know a lot of people are still very nervous about social media, and that's valid, but there's no perfect time to do anything. You have to just start. I think a lot of people wait to have the perfect lighting, the perfect audio, the perfect aesthetic home or background, which I can understand in this day and age of social media. It seems like we have curated this false idea of perfection, but you're not gonna have that 9 times out of 10. You're not gonna have all of those things in the beginning. When you look at really big creators, go back to their starting point. They didn't have all of that. So if you're waiting to have all of those things, unless you just have the money and you can invest in those things from the beginning, but 9 times out of 10, a lot of people don't have that. So you have to just start with what you have. For me, I didn't start with expensive equipment and expensive lighting. I had an iPhone and a dream, and I worked my way up. And when you work your way up, you can then afford to invest in the more expensive stuff. I used to film content in my bathroom. In life, if you sit down and wait for things and moments to be perfect before you act on a feeling or a desire or a dream, then you're never really going to accomplish anything, because there's never a moment in life where everything is just perfect and it's going the way you want it to go. So that is my advice for those of you who's wondering, how do I even begin? I see all of these big creators and with millions of followers. Where do I even start? Just start. That is it. The only difference between you and a really big content creator is they've put themselves out there and you haven't. So you have to just put yourself out there. Now, does that mean that everybody's going to be successful? No, that's not the way the world works, unfortunately. But you're never going to know if you're going to be successful if you don't actually put yourself out there. Taking that first step is going to be very messy. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's not going to look perfect. You have to learn yourself on camera. You have to go through that awkward phase in order for you to come out on top. So some of my advice when it comes to creating content, I'm using this Pretty Little Thing palette, by the way. I can't remember how long I've had this. I just threw it in my cart last minute because I like the colors. So when it comes to some of my advice, when it comes to creating good content, it all starts with your content. Now, a lot of people are not gonna like to hear this, but some people are actually very lazy content creators. A lot of people care too much about what other people think about them. You cannot be thinking about what other people think about you. Not in a bad way. Obviously, you don't want to give off a negative impression, but if you're doing something that you're passionate about and you're worried about being judged and criticized, all of those feelings need to go out of the window. Because social media, you need to have thick skin for this internet. You need to have thick skin for the internet. You need to invest in your content. I am not saying go out and buy a $3,000 camera. No, what I'm saying is what you're putting out. People can argue all day long about content creation not being an actual job, but if you have to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning like I did this morning, and you have to shoot for 6-7 hours like I do mostly, with no breaks and no rest in between, sometimes no meals in between, and then you come back and you have to edit those videos yourself like I do all of my own editing. Sweetie, that is a job. I don't care what you think. Now, is it the hardest job in the world? Absolutely not. Yes, I have a lot of time to myself. I have my own schedule. I create my own schedule, but it's a job nonetheless. I value putting out good content. So I did my eyes off camera. Now I'm going to go in with my blush. And this is something that I've been doing recently. I saw this creator on TikTok doing this, where she applied her blush before she applied her foundation. So she goes really heavy with the blush, like the pink blush, and she applies it up here in like a C motion. This gives you like a more natural blush line. So back to what I was saying, you have to approach this like it's an actual job. I think I went a little bit too harsh here, but I'll clean that up. You have to approach content creation with the same level of effort and discipline. When I said that some people are lazy content creators, I meant that in a way where we see a lot of people go viral for nothing sometimes, and that makes people think all they have to do is post 1 or 2 videos and then they become an instant overnight success. And it doesn't work that way. That only happens to like 1% of people. So you have to be willing and ready to really put in a lot of time and effort and dedication into this journey, and know that it takes time. So now I'm going in with my foundation. This is Fit Me by Maybelline. I love this foundation. It has a very dewy, smooth consistency, and it gives me a matte full coverage finish, which is a win-win in my book. So when it comes to getting brand deals and sponsorships, this part can be a little tricky because we hear a lot of people say, reach out to brands. And I think it just depends. In my experience, reaching out to brands have never really worked. Like, it's never gotten me what I wanted. They're gonna feel like you wanna work with them a lot more than they wanna work with you. Now, if you are a startup content creator, which is what I'm talking about right now, if you are a beginner, you're just getting into content creation and just social media, and you don't mind getting free products, free giftings, or just being on brands PR, then that's fine. If I love a brand, if I love a product, and it's something that I would genuinely use and recommend, and it depends the brand, I would absolutely post without pay. And where I am now, I understand that it's not always about the money. Sometimes it's about the experience. Sometimes it's about all the other opportunities that you can get from working with a brand. But yeah, if you're just starting and you're looking to really get your feet wet, then of course, reach out to brands, pitch yourself to brands. So now I'm gonna do my concealer, and I am using the Fenty Beauty concealers. I'm using one in shade 360. And then the other one is in shade 310. I'm gonna go in with the 360 shade. This is gonna be my first application. And I like to combine that with the LA Girl Pro Conceal. Yes, I still use LA Girl. What are you gonna do about it? I love LA Girl. I've been using this since I started ever doing my makeup. She works, so if it's not broken, baby, I'm not trying to fix it. And I'm just going to give myself that sharp line. Like I said, pitching yourself to brands can be very lucrative if you are getting started and you want to put yourself out there as a creator. And of course, you need products. Absolutely pitch yourself to brands. Find out if you can get on PR lists for some of these brands, if you can get giftings, if you can do collabs. But my advice, when you're first starting out, don't go into it looking for sponsorships. So a lot of people start and they think that all these brands are gonna just start coming and reaching out to them. Just post your content. Let your social profile grow, post your content, focus on that, build yourself up. And when you've gotten yourself to a stable point where you have a little bit of followers, and when I say a little bit of followers, I'm not talking about 20,000, 100,000, then you can begin pitching yourself to brands, and you have content that you can send to them to show that, hey, this is what I do, this is how I create content, this is what I can do for you. Like, you also want to bring value to the table. Don't just expect them to just want to give you free stuff, because it's not going to work that way. I personally have always had a great experience when brands have been the one to reach out to me themselves. But listen, there is, ooh, my beauty blender. There is no one formula to this. Put yourself out there. That is my advice. So now I'm going in with my second coat of concealer. This one is just to brighten my under eye, and this one is the shade 310. I'm just gonna use a little bit of this out here in the corner of my eyes. Again, just to brighten, so I'm not doing too much. Now, when it comes to contracts, okay, this is just my advice. Always try and negotiate a long-term contract, a contract that is 6 months to a year. You have to be able to gauge your audience and see what your audience retention is, because there's no way that after one post, everybody's gonna go run and buy this product. Unless you're just a really, really big influencer whose community supports everything that they do, everything that they post. That's not everyone. I like to do more long term because it builds that connection with your audience and the brand, because when they see you using something over time, they're gonna be like, oh, hey, let me try this product. People buy what's always in their face. That is just my advice when it comes to negotiating contracts. If you ever get to that point, it's also very beneficial to you because it also gives you a sense of stability. Also, know your worth. Now, knowing your worth doesn't mean demanding a ridiculous amount of money from a brand, but it's knowing when you're being disrespected and when you need to be walking away. I've been disrespected by brands before. I'm not even gonna go into detail. This is a story for another day. But being a Black creator, specifically an African creator, sometimes it's a bit difficult getting what you feel like you should be getting from a brand. I understand my demographic, and I understand that my demographic is not what a lot of brands are looking for. Sometimes you have to know when to just leave some things alone and not eat crumbs off of a table, if you know what I mean. So know your worth and be willing to walk away when you feel like that worth is not being valued or it's not being recognized. When it comes to niche, right? A lot of people will say, try different things. I have an opposing opinion. Having a specific niche also allows you to identify your target audience, and it allows you to have a very gauged audience. So people know you for this thing. I would rather be known for one thing and to be known to be very, very good at one thing, to be the best at this one thing, than for me to try and juggle 100 different things and not master any. So in the process of trying to do everything, you've actually mastered nothing. Now, there is a lot of creators who start off doing one thing and then eventually evolve and find their niche. And yes, when you're starting up, whatever your passion is, whatever you have in mind to do, just do it. Create the content. As you evolve, as you go, as you evolve and as you grow as a content creator, your main niche and what you're really going to be known for will eventually evolve. Like, you will find it. And again, another important factor about niche is don't just accept any brand deal because you want some money. Okay, so you see a lot of people promoting a lot of different things, and it's like, it doesn't come across as genuine. It doesn't come across like this creator actually uses these products. I think that there's a difference between an influencer who's just influencing and someone who has a specific niche and is a creator for that niche. You have to define what kind of creator you want to be. That is your business. I'm not here to tell you anything other than that. I like to use this darker shade of foundation. This is also from Maybelline. This is shade 365. I like to use this as a subtle contour. So I just apply it right here up top. And also I apply it over my forehead. Now, when it comes to growing on social media takes time. Like I said before, a lot of people think that they can just post a couple videos and then go viral and become an overnight sensation. That does not happen to all of us. I was posting 3-4 times a day at some point, and it was a lot of work. But the work paid off. So you have to be ready and willing to put time and effort into this, and be willing to be patient as well. I feel like a lot of people are not patient. We live in an age where not everybody, but a lot of people just want instant gratification. Now I'm gonna bake with my Huda Beauty banana bread easy bake powder. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know if I want to use this shade, because last time I used it, it was giving white. And I didn't really like that look very much. I think I'm just gonna use my Derma Blend. Okay, shout out to Jackie Aina because she put me on. She's doing the Lord's work, y'all. So this one is more neutral. Oop, I've spilled. So growing on social media is such a roller coaster. Sometimes the algorithm is in your favor, and sometimes you are left to dry outside. I Yeah, I think I prefer this look more. So now when it comes to being motivated and just being consistent with posting, it's just like everything else. It's just like being consistent with your fitness journey or anything else. You're not always going to be motivated. Trust me, there are many days where I don't want to make a video. But like I said, I treat this like it is a full-time job, because that's exactly what it is for me. So regardless of how you feel, you have to just do it. And what helps me stay consistent with creating content is creating like content mood boards. I create my content in batches. I don't shoot one video and then post it and then shoot another one and then post it. I batch create content. And if you want to be consistent with putting out content, you have to learn to batch create. That just means setting aside a day or two in the week. This is what I do. I set aside a day in a week or 2 weeks. I set aside 1 or 2 days in my week, which are usually my rest days, so I don't go to gym on these days. And these are the days where I just create content. So I have about 6 to 7 looks on each day, and I go out and I create content. Like I said, my content filming days usually last 5, 6, 7 hours. It is a lot of work. The reason why a lot of your favorite creators are able to stay consistent and post all the time, like I'm talking about multiple times a week, is because they batch create their content. It gives you an edge because you always have something to post. Yeah, my photographer's calling me. Oh. Hello.
Morning.
Good morning.
So I'm at the gate, main gate.
So I've lined my lips. For my lips, I like to do this combo. I just like to do this Milani matte lipstick. Then I'll just go over it with some gloss. And now I'm going over with my Fenty gloss. This is shade, what shade is this? And there we go. Now I like to follow my cheekbone. So it's gonna be like a C curve. So my photographer is here, and I wish I could talk to you guys much longer, but I don't want to keep him waiting. So we have to head downstairs. Oh, I'm finishing up. Y'all, please don't make fun of me. My powder's almost finished. I need to re-up. So that is it. This is the look. And yeah, I want to do these earrings for my first look. The weather is looking good. It's not raining. It actually started raining this morning and I was so nervous. I forgot to set my face. All done. So for the first look, I'm gonna do the brown bikini. If you watch my bikini haul, you've seen this before. I bought it for this purpose. So also you're going to see bits and pieces of this video in my full Kenya vlog. So just let you know now. All right. I'm doing well. How are you? And it's raining. False alarm. It's raining, guys. It's not. The sun is out though. I'm vlogging.
That's 300.
Is it like a flash?
Yeah, it's a flash, but also you can do continuous light.
I don't know what that is. Oh, a continuous light.
Continuous light.
Okay. Oh, let me see. Is that okay? Oh, Sony.
You use light from here?
No, not really. No, I don't really edit my pictures. I edit, but not like color grade. That's what I don't color grade.
So how much what would you want? JPEG or RAW files?
Raw file. Wait, what's the difference?
Okay, JPEG. Okay, RAW files has more information. So in terms of that's for us. Like grade.
Oh, yeah. Mine are usually raw.
So JPEG.
I don't know. Which one is better? Okay. so look number 1 is done. I feel so bloated right now. My stomach is so tight. So now it's time for me to change for my second look. So the second look that I am thinking about doing is this 2-piece. It's from Pretty Little Thing. A low waist skirt, so it has a tag on it. A matching corset top. Paired it with these heels. I'm a selective extrovert. I'm actually very shy.
Wow.
Now, I want to see if I can put a wig on my head. So now I have to figure out how I'm going to stuff these braids under a wig. Kind of the same color with the wig, so switching to my next bikini look. The wig is sitting. She actually fit. Should I leave this hat on? So this is the final look. I changed my wig and I'm wearing this one piece. Ooh. Okay. Oh my god, it's cold.
Let's mix today.
And that's it. I'm starving, I'm hungry. I need to go grab something to eat. And then I'm gonna get started editing these pictures because there's so many pictures to choose from. We took over 300 pictures, so I have a lot to just source through. But yeah, thank you guys for watching today's video, and I will see you in my next one.